Hi, welcome into this Innovation Refunds review where I will be uncovering the hidden truths people are not sharing with you, how to really get up to 26,000 per employee or up to 2 million, 5 million incredibly fast without collateral, no hard credit checks, bad credit is acceptable, and lower documentation. Hi, my name is Michael with Viral Funding Solutions. I'm a business loan broker expert who's helped out a lot of businesses recover credit, get funding of other kinds, and so much more. So let's answer the question that is on your mind. Is innovation refunds legitimate? Yes, they are. However, that doesn't mean they are best for you. You will see some things as we go through this review video about the fee structure, who's behind this, what past companies they may have ran, and a little bit more that you'll hear about and go, I have to have a second thought about that. So you're looking at the home page and it says, get your business refund up to 26,000 per employee to use on operational expenses you have for growth and expansion. And if you don't know what the ERC is, or employee retention credit or employee retention tax credit, it is passed through the CARES Act. And this is where you can get up to 26,000 per employee for those that you were able to retain as well through the COVID epidemic. And because it wasn't your fault, you may have had a government mandate, partial or full-time shutdown, reduced pay, wages, etc., and so much more. So in return, through the Treasury Department, that's where it would come from, and a few acts, CARES Act to begin with, that you can get that on qualified W-2 wages. And I'll go through some of the things in a moment, but let's continue down this path. And this isn't a business loan. This is more of a quote unquote grant per se, because it doesn't have to be returned. So it is a credit though you can use as you choose. And it's running out rather quickly. So it could be done by the end of 2024, if not 2025, perhaps. We're not sure if it'll be an extension. So I would get in as soon as possible. And I'll leave my resources down below, especially a great alternative that I may cover here as we go forward. Now, here it says the ERC offers a welcome cash infusion as owners struggle with inflation, rising interest rates, and tight labor markets. I mean, that's the truth. So there's a lot of stuff happening right now. I won't get into the nitty gritty of economics, micro and macro for the time, and we want to keep rolling here. But just know that this is out there. And if you haven't claimed it and you can qualify on those qualified W-2 wages, reduce gross receipts, partial or full-time shutdown, maybe a supply chain issue, and a few other reasons, then you would want to get in as soon as you can. And again, I'll leave more information down below and my recommendation. The employee retention credit, what is it? As we covered, it's a payroll tax refund from the United States Treasury Department applicable to businesses who kept employees on payroll during the pandemic. And for qualified 2020 and 2021 quarterly wages, and you'd have to report that with a 941, a summary of that, payroll returns, etc. So over here, your business is in good company. Our clients have claimed over 2 billion in payroll tax refunds. You can see some of the companies there that's been listed, and I've helped out a lot of people get the ERC credit, and they're maximizing it. They're not wasting time. They're getting in the application, uploading documents how they're asked to be uploaded, and so forth. How it works: we make claiming the payroll tax refund easier. Create an account and tell us a little bit about your business. Get your checks in the mail from the US Treasury. Well, number two would be file your claim and then you get your money. That's how it works. That's the intermediate step. And this is where it can be hands off because you're working with the CPAs, the attorneys, the payroll management experts. And I have another recommendation for that who I've been working with for some time and are the leading in the payroll management field. And this is what they've specialized for such a long time. And you're probably asking, why should I do this when I can go to my own CPA? Well, your own CPA doesn't know how to handle the whole payroll part of it, the returns and 941s. They may tell you you're not even eligible, or they're going to tell you usually that you won't get enough, and they won't look at everything. They're just going to look at your gross receipts, and they already have a lot on their plate, so they won't know how to technically manage all this. So you need somebody who has the professional skill sets to do it. And even if there's a fee attached to it, which I'm going to get into, that's why you want to stick around with me, especially at the end of this video, because I'm going to give you a few treats and a few bonus tips as a broker who's been able to fund a lot of businesses. And really, I do care about you as a person first, human, and in business. You probably hear that from people, but that is the honest truth. When people come into my culture or my ecosystem, my environment, you're going to feel that. So get your money there, submit your documents to our team, which would be step number two. Recovering your business's tax refund starts here. You can check your eligibility. We'll look at that in a moment. See if your business qualifies for ERC assistance in about 8 minutes. How much could you be waiting? Money could be waiting. File with confidence. Our independent tax attorneys and CPAs will work hard to verify your claim and uncover every credit your business is eligible to receive. We don't get paid until your business gets paid. Our independent tax attorneys will defend your case in case of audit. We stand behind our work with $2 million in audit protection support you can't count on. Dedicated refund specialists assigned to your account through evaluation regarding eligibility. They leave no stone unturned when checking your business eligibility. After full analysis, we aim to leave no question to mark in your claim. And they made it painless. Stories there, a faster, easier way to file. Don't spend hours tracking down documents for your CPA with 50 plus payroll and accounting system integrations. Your documents can get where they need to go in just a few clicks. And then you can see all integrations, refund, rebuild. So we're going to go up here, and then I'm going to get into some things that people are saying. That's why you want to stick around, because that's where you're going to see a lot of the uncovered truths. And this is a video, again, if I didn't say it, that people have been wanting me to make and review on innovation refunds and where they've come from and what can they do in their fee structure. So we got to see all this already. What is ERC? There's a few pages I want to show you before we do some of that. Due to financial suffering across the country, Congress passed the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Securities CARES Act to help businesses back on their feet with a special section called the Employee Retention Credit. And it was overshadowed by the PPP. So even if you have a PPP2, you can get the ERC. The Employee Retention Credit developed. You can learn a little bit about that. We're just going to speed through this, but it is legitimate, the ERC, in case you're wondering. Anticipated 70% to 80% of small and medium businesses and tens of thousands of charities were good candidates for taking the ERC. IRS there, a business eligible. Kind of get into that. But one, you must be a small business. The government has defined a small business as an employer that operates a trade business or a tax-exempt organization having fewer than 100 full-time employees calculated from 2019 to 2020 ERC refund. There's 100 to 500, there's a few things. Having fewer than 500 full-time employees calculated from 2019 for 2021 ERC refund. So it's varying from 100 to 500. And then number two, your small business may be eligible for, if you have the following criteria: experience a significant decline in gross receipts during the 2021 calendar quarter, more than a 20% decline versus the same quarter of 2019, and a 50% decline in the 2020 calendar. Or, this is the thing, or had operations that were impacted by government orders due to COVID-19, resulting in limitations of commerce, travel, or meetings. And you can see some of the things there. I won't go into it entirely because of time, and I want to move on to a different tab I'm going to show you here in a second. But you can see that. You can even rewind it. And I'll show you maybe a little bit towards the end. We'll probably come back to this if we have time. How much is it eligible to recover? You can just state the number amount. Let's say this. So we had 50, and then we had an uptick of maybe 100 there. You can do 250,000. That's kind of an estimate. It's kind of like a pre-qualification right before. If you've ever tried to apply for funding, maybe a business loan in advance, something else, you might have already known, hey, you can pre-qualify for this. And it's not exact, of course. It's going to give you a range. And with the documentation then filed, your 941s, payroll summary report, are these little things, then we're going to go ahead and calculate it even better. Check what your business may be eligible to receive with no upfront cost. Your refund amount is based on many factors, including qualifying quarters, number of employees, hours worked, participation in other government programs, PPP loans, group health premiums, wages paid. So we don't want an overlap, call it double dipping with PPP loans and the ERC. So we want to make sure you have it filed correctly, where you're not taking funds that you received from PPP at the same quarter or something happened there, and then we're going to double dip with more on ERC. So we got to just look at the two and see what's happening. So down here, how do you file? Once you find out if your business qualifies, you'll need to fill out the specific tax form for 2020 and the applicable quarters of 2021. Getting the refund generally takes several months. This is why it's more important that you get your forms filled out without error. If you've seen yourself go through the EIDL and you did that, you probably know the time it takes. Even if you did it correctly, there are some things on the EIDL's part, the officers, that they didn't do correctly, or the system didn't look at it correctly. They didn't have it built right. So make sure you have it done. It can take like 6 to 8 months at times, if not more. I've seen it 12 months and more. Incompletely or incorrectly filled out forms will be rejected and may result in your business having to refile. Time is running out, decrease in 2024 and get smaller each quarter. Qualifications and limitations have been amended multiple times. So I wouldn't wait for this chance to run out. Now, do I recommend them as my number one? No, and you're going to see a little bit about why that is. And you've already probably seen a little bit, but I'll leave my recommendation down below to get started. And I'll actually leave this before I go any further. I'll leave this down below, maybe that, or it'll be the video itself on the channel, but you can learn more about the ERC, the qualifications there, and why this is, I believe, to be the best recommended way to go. To learn more about myself here at Viral Funding Solutions, you can watch that, click here, and it'll take you over. I'll show you that here soon. And I'll show you what I just showed you there on that tab. Innovation Refunds helps with confidence. Okay. The thing is here, sometimes they don't label like what is the actual fee associated, which I'll get into. I believe it is at around 25%. I want to say that. I mean, that's what I've been hearing. Could be 20%. I've seen companies do 20, 25%. Others are around 10 to 15%. And I'll show you an alternative with that. But it's not all about the fee structure. It's about the precise accuracy. And I believe in a different one that I would recommend. And again, I'm going to link you to down below, and it's a part of that video that I showed you on another tab just recently on that page. And here from our clients, you can see some testimonials. Innovation Refunds made it painless from Bill Lockwood of Lomita Feed. And just some of the things people are saying. They were able to answer all our questions to our satisfaction. They knew what they were doing. I wish them continued success. Over 326,000 in credits given back. Faisal Mohini, hopefully I'm saying that right. Management Mora Consulting. And then you have one from Made, uploading the docs fast and easy. If you haven't contacted, follow about your receipts. So now over 600,000. Daniel Lamu, owner, Highland Lumber Sales. And you see a few other ones. We can kind of do this and go over. You get the gist of it. Seen and featured in Newswire, ICAB, CPA, I mean, the Wall Street Journal. Sometimes you have to be careful. I'm not saying they aren't listed, but there are companies out there who like can easily put themselves in front of those kind of companies. They can buy themselves in. I'm not saying that's what's happening here, but be very careful. And then when people do some reviews, like here you're going to see on Trustpilot, excellent, 4.8 out of 5, 201 reviews. Call me skeptical at first, but I was skeptical about this. Working with Innovation Refunds has been a fantastic experience. Guided me through the process of filling for a refund, and it was very easy to follow the process. You can see that there. And so let's move on to the next part, which is going to be the test, the second part of the test, actually the FAQ, and then we'll get to that part. Why do you need a refund specialist? I already more or less talked about that. And it's the tax codes. When it comes to that, it becomes very complicated, and I see what they do. And yeah, my own CPA wouldn't be able to handle this, so that's something you want to hand off to the team of payroll management experts. Can I earn more cash while waiting for my refund? Sure, if you want to participate in referring. How do you check the status of your refund? You can call IRS directly, and there's a number there. What should I expect after the application? Due to the employer touch of credit, IRS is currently working through a backlog of amended Form 941 filings. This means you could experience an extended wait time before you receive your funds, which is standard. Does not qualify. What do you do? There are alternatives, by the way. I'll leave them down below. If you can't qualify for the ERC or you've claimed it and you'd like an additional amount of funding, maybe bridge funding, a business term loan, equipment financing, maybe you have assets, asset-based collateral you can give up. That's what you'd like to do. I'll leave alternatives, and I'll leave a questionnaire form that'll look like this, just in case you're wondering how to get in touch with me. So there'll be this form. Select one of the two, whichever one applies to you. You can get a free 6-step curriculum learning checklist. I've made it effortless, energy, and time efficient for us both. So fill this out. Everybody does this. It's almost like a priority and mandatory that I have people do, because everybody wants to just call me to call them. I can't be doing that every day. And as an introvert already, I mean, this is the best setup, and you're going to get it much faster. So you can fill out this questionnaire down below. And I may even still show you the ERC in that email so you can learn more about it. You can come back to it in case you forgot about it or need a reminder. And it'll be looking like something like this. More or less, it could change over time. Fill it out, and then you might see a video on the thank you page to get started, or you'll learn about my processes, why I do it the way that I do it. I give you guys a little clip or a little snippet into why. But how is the refund calculated? Determine the proper amount of a refund is complex accounting process. Although these are payroll tax credits, what you paid in payroll tax has no bearing on your ERC calculations. The refunds are based on many factors, including qualifying quarters, as I said in the beginning, number of employees, hours of work, wages paid and if applicable, PPP loans, Group 8 health premiums, and our participation in other government programs, to name a few. How long? It could take 4.5 months to say here, but a lot of times it could be like 6 to 8, sometimes 12 months. That's a little aggressive, but it has happened. What is your fee and when do we pay? Okay, this is the answer. So there are no upfront fees or obligations, and you shouldn't. If you ever run into an ERC company, the one that I recommend that I'll show you guys in a moment, you don't run into fees in the beginning. You shouldn't have to pay for an application fee, and even just to get a pre-qualification estimate of what you could get. And if that's happening, there are scams out there, and this happens with business loans and other things because they know that recovering credit, they may not be able to help that person, or they will, but they won't get as much. So they're going to cover like a $20, $100 to $500 to $1,000 fee up front. So be very careful about that. And if you run into somebody and you want me to check that ERC company, I've already done reviews of others that I'll link you guys down below, especially on my blog, and why I recommend this other one I'll show you in a moment. Once engaged in recovering your business's refunds or our fee is 25%. So I think that's slightly high for what I've seen out there. If it's slightly higher, doesn't mean it's not good. It just could be better because it's charged so high and they have a standard. But there have been other ways, and just it's not all about the fee. I get that because you're wondering why are there so many high fees, 10, 15, 20, 25? Because the payroll management team, the CPAs, the attorneys, all of this has to be in sync. And they're writing letters, they're putting things together, they're checking everything and making sure it is correctly reporting. And it takes some time for them to do. Don't think this is simple and just, hey, I'm going to just charge you a 1%, 3% fee. That's very low. They're filing and getting you potentially 100, a million, even just 20, 500, 3,000 in credit. So getting about a million, getting about 6 figures of it, that definitely triumphs what the fee is. Even if it's taken off that amount, what have you received? You're still getting plenty of it. And it's somebody who's an expert doing it. Keep that in mind. It's not somebody who just, is your CPA who doesn't have any specialty in this. And it's just very common. It's like when I see people getting a personal loan for business, you'll see origination fees or costs up there of about 15 or so percent. And it's because it's the cost to fulfill. You've seen it with SBA loans at times where if they don't give you a good faith deposit up front with your term sheet, and then we go to the next part of underwriting, which could be more extensive credit and so forth, of about $25 to $30,000 to show your commitment, then it's easy for you to back out. It could be somebody passing, it could be somebody who is not serious. So your commitment matters. Sometimes that good faith deposit isn't upfront. And if it isn't and they waive it off, there might be a harder amount of a lender broker cost at the back end where they charge you 10 to 15 or so $1,000. And that's common a lot of times, especially with SBA loans. So keep that in the back of your mind. Was your business profitable? Can you still qualify? Both essential and non-essential businesses alike can qualify, and a decline in revenue is not required. Many of our clients even had the increase in sales, but still experienced disruptions or were negatively impacted. You don't have to pay it back. Unlike the PPP loan, it's not a loan. It's money for your business, and it's up to you how you use it. What if we want to claim it? You can see that it could expire here soon, so I would jump on it, and I'll leave my recommendation down below. How do you know if you qualify? We went over that. That was a different. PPP was a forgivable loan. ERC refunds payroll taxes that your businesses have already paid. Once your business receives the ERC funds from the U.S. Treasury, no further action is required on your part. Why haven't you heard of it? PPP was heavily marketed by the SBA, while ERC is claimed directly through the U.S. Treasury. That's the difference. Along with our bank partners, it's our mission to educate you and obtain for your business a payroll tax refund that it's entitled. Now let's go to the part where I'm hearing things, and this is something that I've seen on Reddit. Now, some of this you have to take with caution. Some people are saying, well, it's a scam. Others are saying it's legit. I would say so it's more on the legit side. I mean, there's still more maybe I have to cover that maybe isn't. And I could be wrong there, but from what I've seen, and you're seeing in this thread that I've gone through, and I'll show you a few things to point out. So we go down here. I saw the title and the name of the company, a loans from scam, but there's no grip there. I'm going to guess this is a fake job offer. Auto moderator has been summoned to explain the fake check scam. It arises from the many different situations, fake job scams, fake payment scams, but the bottom line is always the same. You receive a check online or in real life you deposit a check. Okay, we're going to go over that. Why did you delete your post from 22 hours ago? I deleted because the post was downvoted to 0 and I had one comment after something like 12 hours. I had no idea. Downvote. Subreddit, I'm posting asking for help. What I believe to be a scam. Okay. Now let's go down here. Details. You mentioned the CEO. Why? Up here. So we'll learn more about that down here. Current CEO and founder, Innovation Refunds, Howard Malkler is what I'm seeing here. I mean, they could be misinterpreting this for another company, but I believe they're talking about Innovations Refunds, what we're looking at right here. Known companies that Mackler has founded for his LinkedIn page, Innovation Refunds 2019 present. No internet presence aside from their website. Possible a government refund middleman. Unclaimed money held by the government is publicly available. They may not divulge that individual that they don't need the company in order to access that money. Irvine Family Offices, richuncles.com, We Power LLC, Howie's, Game Shack, Access-based retail services. I look more into richuncles.com and Irvine Family Offices. Irvine Family Offices has a weird website similar to Innovation Refunds where they also talk about, among other things, that they can get you money owed by the government if you pay them. Richuncles.com took me down a deep rabbit hole because the company's real name was Bricks Right or something, and it was shut down by SEC in 2019 or violating securities laws. It had to pay the government 300,000, and a ton of investors lost their money. Okay, require that. He was weird but genuine. Employees practices. It's a real company. I work there, so do several hundred others. It's a great place to work. Employee retention credits are part of the CARES Act. There's no upfront cost or fee structure. Fee is fair and it's paid after the refunds are received. You'd be amazed how hard it is to convince people that it is real. Whether the tax refunds this company specialize in, 25% isn't fair. I mean, it could be. I know there's other ones. Cheap isn't everything, but I know another one who I've gotten a lot of people the credit for, and I'll show you guys in a moment. And my should I have you refund the fee and pay penalties and interest? Yes, my guess is that the pop-up country will be long gone by the time the IRS starts auditing these things. It's not true. I'll use it for the IRS is approving every 941X. We know that, and we'll use issuing letters or later to verify that the company qualifies for the credit. Okay, telling the customers that credit is not taxable revenue, while the credit is revenue is not revenue is not reduced previously and claimed employment tax expenses. Okay. Check the TT site. He should probably sign up for their scam notification emails. From some searches, the company seems legitimate, but can't say for sure the job is what position was he offered? Account manager. I did see the CEO from his LinkedIn page. There's some of the other ones shut down. I read the irs.gov Guardian refunds for 2021. There's a lot of them. You cannot receive credits for all the benefits, but choose which you want to apply for. Be careful and check out with the CPA first. Avoid the 25% fee. Works here. My mother has been doing nothing but telling me about all the money he is making now compared to all the temp jobs he's worked there. So, there is legitimacy to it. I can go on and on with this in this rabbit hole. You saw some of the Trustpilot reviews and what people have been saying. And if we could just do this really quickly and we'll close up. And I'll show you another one. On Trustpilot. I mean, you don't always want to read the top reviews. See, we went over this a little bit earlier. But you also want to go to like the 3 stars and learn a little bit. Fine in the beginning and I have done all our paperwork now has been weeks when to review with the CPAs. No answers, no return calls. On occasion, there is an email. We will look into it, but that's it. I keep reaching out, but not getting any reply. I'm wondering if this is a scam at this point. Not good customer service. Once, thank you. Or they have your documents. Update after writing this review, I got a call from the team leader the next morning. They were able to look into my case, made a call to the CPA team, and got in contact. Got a contract sent out within a couple of hours. They also followed up later in that day. If there were any questions, all of that occurred in 24-hour spans of time. I gave them credit. They jumped right on it, took care of my situation. I started They moved it to 3 stars because they gave weight into a company fixing a problem. Legitimate, but some logistical challenges. Okay, that's a long in-depth one. Let's go ahead and just quickly glance over it and come back up here, maybe to see a 1 star. Unprofessional and disappointed, not satisfied. We're told we needed to be submitted required documents. We submitted all docs required plus with the questionnaire. We're affected by COVID, and we didn't qualify. Then, okay, maybe just they were upset because the rep didn't respond back to them explaining why. Probably should have known that though from the beginning. Fine, no return calls, just a few things of that. There's another one there, but just take it with caution. There's another one that I recommend. And again, like I said, you're going to learn more about it in the video and the process of going through the app sequence and what you should be doing. One that I recommend here, I'll list and I'll show you is ercspecialists.com. And you'll learn more about it again once you click through this video and the benefits of coming through myself. And again, this video will be there to show you my #1 recommendation through them and the benefits of coming through myself and what you'll get, the care, the communication, You'll also be able to leverage my own network of underwriters and lenders out there that are not ERC related. It could be something else with a business loan, an advance, a term loan. Maybe you want to stay up to date with SBA EIDL PPP and everything else out there happening. So it would be in your best interest to come through. And so I'll try to leave this link down below. If not, I'll leave just the video itself so you stay on YouTube, but it might take you here. You can watch it. It is a little bit in depth. So take time. You may have to bookmark it, come back and watch it, or skip through it, but I would watch it all the way thoroughly. And then you can realistically click here, and it should take you over to that page to get started in the process. I won't go through the whole like app sequence right now. And let's go back over here and just see this part. Get started, what it would look like for Innovation Refunds itself. And the other one was a different company. And then step 1, eligibility information. Step 2, additional details. So you're going to want to go through this and list it. How did you hear about us? And then you'll go into adding additional details, the steps there. Okay. And there's a number to call just in case. So again, I showed you my #1 recommended. I showed you what other people are saying. I'm not saying that they are not legitimate. There is legitimacy to them. And they are just one of the many ERC companies perhaps you've run across. And what I recommend would be another one like the one I just showed you. There could be a 10% pay now, and there's probably a pay later 15%. But there are different additions. You get a payroll management team with my other recommendation, and I've worked with them, and they do very well. That team, they just are very cohesive, very communicative and supportive, and we handle a lot of cases. So again, that would be a recommendation. And the way you want to do that is by clicking the link down below and going through that video to watch, not just going through to the site. That doesn't give you any advantage or extra position to really help you. And I'm going to be there along the way at every step to make sure that you're taken care of, not only with ERC, but if you ever have any questions, you can then come back to me. Hey, Michael, I want to get an SBA loan if I could qualify for it. What does it entail? I want to get just some short bridge funding term loan from 1 to 2 years, or what your expectations are. I'll really help you out. Okay, so that'll be everything from me. I believe I've covered everything that I needed to. The questionnaire too as well. Make sure to fill that out. I'll also show you the ERC and even more other financing and funding solutions. You got to see my recommendation. I may leave a blog post down below so you can learn more if there. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with others who you feel will find value out of it. It can be a complete stranger, a friend, a family member, but you know you help them at the end of the day. And if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so and click that bell notification icon so you do not miss any future content I will be coming out with. And one last thing here, I guess I didn't go through this, but refer and earn, if you want to become a partner, they have that. And I'll just quickly go through this, but you can see it there. Yeah, so if you haven't done that, please go ahead and click that bell notification icon so you do not miss any future content I will be coming out with. And that, and any comments, please leave them down below. I'll leave things in the description. Again, fill out the questionnaire first, go through this link to get here, or the YouTube if it's there, and then get started. Watch that. If you qualify, click that button or that link, then to take you over to what I showed you. That's what you want to do. And for so much more, it'll be down below. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you soon.